Look, I know Splendor Duel means a two-player version of Splendor, but there is part of me that wishes it meant it was an old-timey duel. You know, like the kind where Alexander Hamilton died? That's what I wish this was right now. I challenge you to a duel! Well, what is your weapon of choice? The game Splendor! We shall walk 10 paces and then try to gain the most gems. Whoever can get the most gems at 10 paces shall win the duel. Wouldn't that be memorable? I don't know. We can walk 20 paces and throw these little scrolls at each other. If you get a hit, then you win. When we are dueling with Splendor. Look, this is just a two-player version of Splendor. Oh, it's still got the nice little tokens though, the plastic tokens. You know, I've been kind of over Splendor. I played a lot of it once upon a time, and it's a game that now I frankly don't really want to play anymore. This gets me back in. This gets me back interested. This gets me wanting to play Splendor again, and also challenging people to a duel with Splendor. My Shelfie. I honestly feel like the term Shelfie is only something that board gamers use, you know? Nobody else says that in their life. Nobody else is like, shall I take a Shelfie of my book collection? Ooh, I've got a lot of Precious Moments figurines. Let's take a Shelfie of that. No, this is just the word selfie, but board gamers got a hold of that word and they were like, how can we make it nerdier? How can we make selfies nerdier? Well, how about instead of showing ourself, we show our shelf? Hey, look at all these board games. This is my Shelfie. And in this game, there's not even board games on it. These are just other stuff on your shelf. This is like having a real shelf. Board gamers don't know what that is. What's a real shelf? We get all that stuff off the shelf. Let's put board games there. You know how much storage space I need for all these games? So in the game, you have these like sort of, Connect 4 stands, and you are drafting tiles and dropping them into here and earning points for set collection and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's definitely about that 3D table presence for sure. If this was just a game that was flat on the ground, nobody would care. But because it's three-dimensional, we're like, hoo-hoo-hoo, it looks like a real Shelfie. It looks like a real Shelfie. Look at all those things you can draft on there, and not a board game amongst them. Rolling Heights. Not gonna lie, sounds kind of like a drug reference, but it's not. You're rolling meeples in this game. There's about as far away from drugs as possible. It's the nerdiest thing I can think of, rolling meeples. We're not gonna roll dice, we're gonna roll meeples. What are meeples? They're board game people. They're game people. And so in the game, you are rolling your meeples, you're pushing your luck, and you are building towers all throughout the board. I don't know what this little room is. Oh, look at that. Those are your little meeple rolling trays. That's fun that they provide those. There's a bunch of different buildings you could do and all that sort of stuff. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of buildings here. These are a lot of things you can build. And we got jumbo squares. Don't know what these do, but they are jumbo. Marrakesh is tight. I am very excited to have this game, and I have the Essential Edition. This is not the Deluxe Edition. This doesn't come with a bunch of like dual layered boards or fancy wood stuff. This is just the cheaper version of the game, but you know what? It comes in a much smaller box, and my shelf space is hard to come by, and so I like the idea of a smaller box. And I love the game because it's a Euro game, but it mixes some other fun stuff into it. These are called Keshis, and you'll be drafting your Keshis and then dropping them down a cube tower and then drafting them to take actions. All of the different colors refer to different spots on the board, and so, you know, it's just fun to drop stuff down this big old cube tower. And like I said, you know, there is a deluxe version of this where these can all be like wooden, you know, bits and tokens and all that sort of stuff, but I don't need all that. Do I want it? Yes, because it looks amazing. But you know what? This will be great for me. This version will be great. Am I trying to convince myself right now of that? No, because I've already convinced myself. I don't need you, metal coins. You don't run my life. All right, there's a lot of stuff in this game. There's a lot of different things going on, and I don't, know how to tell you all about it in an unboxing because there's too much to cover right now. But this is your own player board. Look at all those different regions. That's what I told you earlier in the video and you didn't believe me, but now you see it firsthand and you're like, wow, that is a lot of regions. Yeah, I told you earlier. Dragonbond, Lords of Vaala. But, kind of based on the size of the wording they used here, it's like, Lords of Vaala, Dragonbond. So this is a high fantasy game, and you know that because of the dragons. No dragons look like this and are not high fantasy, This is from Draco Studios, and one of the things I'm excited about opening this box is oh, look at this, a little pack of promo cards on the side. Hey, that's a good way to do it, underneath the shrink wrap. Hey, that was A for effort, there, Draco Studios? But they are known for all of their games, even when they're silly party-ish games, have amazing miniatures. And so I am betting that somewhere in this box are some pretty dope miniatures, and we are letting the suspense build right now. We are letting the tension build as we get through all this other stuff that you don't really care about. Cards, who cares? This is a board, I don't want it. Look at that! See? I knew it was in there somewhere. Oh my gosh, they make such cool miniatures in their games. Look at, oh my goodness. That is the piece de resistance. I don't even need to paint this. This is so cool and so detailed. Why would you paint? Look at all these things. Look at all these amazing miniatures. That's a dragon. That's what I call a dragon, Flamecraft is like, but I'm a dragon too. And then this dragon is like, no, I'm going to eat you, Flamecraft. I'm going to eat you, little cute dragons. Wow. Awesome. We are Germans and we drive our fancy cars around the Autobahn. Yeah, vroom vroom on the Autobahn in my automobile. God, I'm bad at accents. God. I can't do accents. You are a funny man, huh? You don't like the Germans? You want to drive on the Autobahn sometime? Yeah, okay, we can stop that now before I get canceled by the German mafia. Autobahn is a game where you are building routes and picking up and delivering stuff on the freeway system. So, I feel like as kids we all hear about the Autobahn because we're like, there's no speed limit. Can you believe it? You can drive as fast as you want. And I don't know if that's actually true, but kids do love to talk about that, all right? Here you go. Here's the board, and I say, where you are building out routes. Oh, and then this is actually not the main board. This is the sideboard where you are getting your guys promoted throughout the game. You want to, impress the boss and become the boss. Here you go. Here's the actual board right here, though, so you can see, all these routes to build and all this stuff. It's a heavier game for sure. One of the fun things, though, I love about it. Look, you got these little trucks, and you can put goods on the trucks. You can stack it up with stuff. You can put. Look at this. Watch here. I'm gonna grab one of these so you can see it in real time because you might not believe me, but. When you go like this, and you can put stuff on there. Ha ha! That's fun. Look at that. Cute.